Welcome, team. This is Shawn Collins. I'm the Chief Operating Officer of Flanders for the United States Operations. I want to welcome you guys to this training. I'm very excited about this. This is an incredible new journey that we are on with our partner Relayer. So I want to take just a little bit of time to give you some background, help you understand a little bit what we're trying to accomplish with this, and hopefully encourage you to listen closely and understand the importance of the adventure that we're on here together. So first off, some of you have probably heard of Industry 4.0 or artificial intelligence or IoT or machine learning, some of these phrases that you commonly hear. But there are many, many different types of things going on in that space, and there's a lot of different applications for it. So we are specifically wanting to talk to you with the Wisdom platform and what we plan to do in that space and how we plan to leverage that technology to really advance our company and improve our customers' operations so that they can achieve their business objectives. So I just want to start out with just a little bit of history on Flanders. We've really been using learning to advance technology for many, many years. So in our operations, as we have done repairs, we have noticed where there are problems with the motors, and then we have used our engineering talent to come back and re-engineer and improve those kinds of things so that we can get improved performance, better reliability out of these machines. So now what we're talking about doing is employing some of these new technologies that exist, like artificial intelligence, machine learning, real-time monitoring of devices, so that we can then apply the learnings and we can continue to improve the outcomes that our customers get. And this gives us the opportunity to provide things like zero unplanned downtime, which would be an incredible benefit to our customers. So this is really just an extension of things that we've always done at Flanders, but now applying new technologies for new learnings so that all of the learnings don't have to come from when we do motor repairs or when we do field service. So how did we get to this point, and who are we partnered with to move into this space? Well, a couple of years ago, we were going through a process of trying to develop our own motor monitoring devices, the hardware itself. And Relayer was the company that we found to help us with that. And during that journey, what we discovered is that many of our customers already have hardware, and they don't necessarily want to change all of that hardware. So what we determined to do was stop focusing on the hardware, but instead focus on what Relayer could offer in the software platform space and specifically in the business transformation space. So they have some unique offerings that allows us to take some unique offerings into our customers and guarantee outcomes. Because really, at the end of the day, our customers want business outcomes. They're not really that excited about just monitoring a motor. Maybe the maintenance people are, maybe some of the operations people are. But at the executive levels of our customers, they really want business outcomes. And that's some of the things that we want to be able to deliver with this and with our partner Relayer. So Relayer is a company that is owned by Hartford Steam Boiler. Hartford Steam Boiler is owned by Munich Re. These are large insurance companies that saw customers transforming their businesses and saw their own insurance companies and insurance markets being disrupted by IoT. And so they decided to go out and invest in a very highly competent company to create this kind of ecosystem for the industrial Internet of Things. And so that is why they bought Relayer. And they also are invested in another company that you've probably heard of called Augury. They are another partner that we have in this endeavor. But Augury's scope is limited to AC machines that are mostly running in steady state. Now that covers a large population of motors that exist in the market, but it doesn't cover everything. So Relayer is our broader partner that covers all of the different applications, even the difficult applications. At Flanders, we've really specialized in some difficult, hard to solve applications for our customers, and it's one of the ways that we really add value. So Relayer is going to help us in that space to be able to deliver not only the technical solutions, but some commercially creative solutions to go along with. So we're very excited about the relationship with Relayer. We're also excited about the role that Augury has to play in all this. But mostly, we're excited about getting out and solving the customer's problems in a new and creative way. So listen, team, this is very, very important. What you are embarking on, you guys are going to be the tip of the spear, because if we can't get out in front of customers and communicate this effectively, then it just won't happen, because there's going to be lots of people talking about IoT. There's going to be lots of competitors talking about all the different things that they have in this space, and there's a lot of confusion around it. And honestly, a lot of our customers have fatigue around it. They just believe a lot of it is smoke and mirrors. And so we need to be able to speak compellingly about this. We need to be able to show the value that Flanders can bring and explain how it is a continuation of the things that we've done for many years at Flanders. So thanks again for being here. I'm very excited about this journey that we're on for Flanders, for Relayer, for our other partner Augury, and also, and most importantly, for our customers, as we listen, innovate, and serve to give our customers the products and services that only Flanders can. Thank you. Hello, everyone. Welcome to this ARC Industry Forum session on machine learning and analytics for maintenance and operations. My name is Shawn Collins. I'm the Chief Revenue Officer for Flanders, and I'll be giving the presentation today. Hopefully it's going to be interesting for you, and you'll pick up on some of the lessons that we've learned. I'm very hopeful that it'll help you in your operations. So let's not waste any time and dive right in here. So just a little bit of background on Flanders. We are a company that's been around for a long time, since the 1940s. We have deep domain expertise in electrical rotating equipment, starting out with the repair and service of electric motors. That over time transitioned into drives and controls, and we developed capabilities in that area. Then we started doing new motors, manufacturing new custom motors, and that's continued to advance into new product offerings like advanced control systems, autonomous operating systems, things like that. And now what I'm specifically working on in the business, is to use the power of AI, condition-based monitoring, machine learning, these kinds of things, across all of those different domain expertise that we have, really continuing to build on our past for the future. The idea being that we can really optimize systems, really help maintenance and operations teams by combining deep domain expertise with these types of technologies that are emerging. So in this presentation, we're going to talk about a challenge that we're going after in the industry, and what we've seen as some of the problems that we're running into as we try to go after this challenge. So what are we seeing? Well, for one thing, many of the solutions are too narrowly focused. So it solves maybe one use case, maybe solves a couple of use cases, but it's a very narrow solution. And our customers have a wide variety of assets that they want to monitor. So a very narrowly focused solution doesn't solve the whole problem. Number two is we've seen an emphasis on wireless sensors that don't necessarily provide the information needed. So wireless is a fantastic technology. It allows for very quick deployment, but it also has some challenges in that it limits the amount of transmissions that you can do because of battery constraints. It's quick to deploy, but it does create other situations that you need to be aware of. We've also seen limited domain expertise from the emerging IoT companies. So this is not a knock on the IoT companies. There's some great ones out there, but they're very focused on their product and not necessarily as focused with the domain expertise on the equipment that they're monitoring. Another issue that we've run into is just disjointed data from multiple sources. So it makes it difficult for the teams to see everything that they need in one place. When the solutions are very narrowly focused, then you end up with a situation where you take multiple platforms in order to see all the different information that you need. And that really limits the adoption of the technologies. The technology has been seen as a threat by reliability rather than an empowerment tool. So we've run into this in some situations, and the idea is not to take over what reliability has been doing. It's to put new tools in their hands, really help them to be empowered to be even more effective in what they're doing. And then also, we're seeing companies take a commoditized approach rather than a partnership approach to solve this issue. And it's a relatively complex one, so it can create some misalignments of priorities and really lead to project failure. So what are we seeing as the solution to this potential problem? Well, what we see as important is to apply domain expertise to understand the problem you're trying to solve. Now, this domain expertise can exist within companies like ours. A lot of it exists within companies like yours, with the technicians that you have that have been dealing with this equipment for many years. So there's many different places that you can get that deep domain expertise, but you need to apply it to the problem that you're trying to solve so that you know what data to collect, where to collect it from, how often you need to collect it, the resolution of the data that you need to collect, and so on. And also, we believe part of the solution is to not sacrifice the quality of the data, which means how often you can scan, etc., when that is critical to the particular solution. It may not be in all cases, but don't choose wireless just because it's simple to deploy if it doesn't solve the problem. So it is great, wireless is great, but it isn't a one-size-fits-all. And then with machine learning, it's great that you can feed the algorithms, but if you feed it bad information, you're not going to get the results that you want. So you have to start with good data. And this last point here is just that it is neat that you can see data on your phone within a few minutes of turning on sensors. But we have to ask ourselves the question, is that the problem we're really trying to solve? Getting the data quickly is nice, but getting the right data is more important. So I tend to think of things in this way because this is what I'm seeing in the industry. So I suppose it's tempting if you have only one tool, or if the only tool you have is a hammer, to treat everything as if it were a nail. So what we're seeing is that kind of dynamic in the industry where the use cases are so narrowly focused that everything looks like a nail because the solution that we have is the hammer. So what we're recommending is to take more of a toolbox approach. So when you go to solve a problem or do a project in your home or around your house or at work or whatever, you don't just have one tool in your toolbox. You have multiple tools that are fit for purpose. And so we're seeing that really apply to this situation as well. You need the right solution to solve the right problem. So we also are seeing that having a flexible data platform that integrates with many types of data sources is going to be critical to the success of these projects. Well, why is that? Well, context matters, and we want to optimize the operations and achieve zero unplanned downtime. So in order to do this, we're going to need not just specific sensor data, but we're going to need some other context and other information that's coming in from your domain expertise, from your reliability team, your operations and maintenance team, from the control system, multiple areas that can provide context for what our data, the data we're collecting from the sensors. So what's another thing that we think is important for the solution? Well, working with partners that can create true value rather than focusing on driving price down through a commodity approach. We understand that everyone is trying to save money, and we get that that's important. But the real value in this is understanding how to make your operations efficient and run better. And we've just found that a partnership approach really sets you up for success more than a very priced and commodity focused approach that misaligns values. Also, an open approach with data and platforms. So we've seen some that are trying to put things into kind of a black box and being less than transparent with the data. And it just doesn't seem like that solution is going to work. It seems like that it's going to take a very open approach, platforms that talk to one another, and an open approach with the data, so the customers have transparency into what's going on. And then also, what we're seeing is it takes some creative commercial solutions to align incentives and guarantee results. So this is a big step for a lot of companies. It could be a significant capital up front if you're not careful. And so, coming up with commercial solutions that really align the incentives of the partnership, we believe is going to be an important step. Although it's not a technical step, it is an important step to getting the solutions deployed for our customers. So what are some of the lessons that we've learned? Well, if you focus too narrow, you can prevent getting to the right solution. It's just that simple. It is easier to deal with only one use case, but it does create some problems. So we're recommending that you not focus too narrow, but instead take more of the toolbox approach. Number two, work with partners and align incentives to drive better, faster results. Number three, getting the right data is better than getting data fast. Number four, have a flexible platform. It's very important. And number five, it's more than being great technically. You have to be commercially innovative as well. So what does this winning formula look like that we're recommending? Well, it's domain expertise, plus the emerging IoT technologies, plus some commercial innovation to really give true value to the customer. So in that domain expertise, we're talking about practical experience on the equipment. We're talking about boots on the ground technical talent. We're talking about engineers. We're talking about operations people, maintenance and reliability people that know the equipment, know the application, know the operation well, and can provide context and data. The IoT technologies, we're talking about things like continuous monitoring, fit for purpose solutions, sensors, hardware, fit for purpose to solve the problem that you're trying to solve, open data sharing, AI and machine learning for predictability, and robust mechanisms for training the AI. That training portion is an extremely important portion we found as we've been doing these deployments. And then commercial innovation, identify the true value of the service. What does this really mean to your business from a dollars and cents perspective? As a service models can really help take some of the OpEx and make a CapEx and OpEx. And then you have insurance, warranties, and backups. This really aligns incentives and ensures outcomes for the customer. And then cost certainty. One of the things that can be enabled by better predictability is to really smooth maintenance budgets and prevent maintenance overage because you can see what's happening with this equipment. And the idea is that these things together really get you to the place of zero unplanned downtime, optimized machine performance, prioritized maintenance planning, continuous improvement through data insights, and improved safety. I want to thank you for your time. I hope this was helpful to you. I hope that you can take these lessons learned, apply them to your business, and get better outcomes, get the results that you want, and head towards zero unplanned downtime. Thank you.